Hey, Superior Shave fans and other humans, how you doing today? This has been quite a little setup I got going here, so I will show you my still pictures right now. I realized that to get that look where you can see the cutting edge going across a large stone, you either need a really small format camera, which would have the depth of field because of the very small circle of confusion, or you need tilt. So this is something that's common in a large format camera, and you can get it here and there with the Canon TSE lenses, etc. on DSLRs. But what I've got going is my large format view camera, my Vista field camera, and I put the very well made Chinese adapter for the rear that goes from Graphlocks to Pentax DSLR, and then my Pentax adapter to talk to the Sony Alpha 7, and then after that we've got the camera, which has live view that is good, so that you can set up the video pretty well just from the live view. My eyeballs aren't what they used to be, and working with a small field in a large format camera is becoming harder and harder now that I'm 48 years old. I'm very glad that I went crazy with the large format camera from age 29 to 34. So what do we got here? This is a standard issue, extra hollow ground, Thiers-Issard, number 1196, Evide Sonnant Extra. And this person pushed the button by the drop-down menu that says further honed, because I just want to confirm with every single customer from now on which way they want it. And when the things are individually photographed, I can't sit there and have individual specimens and individual permutations of honed or factory edge. This makes the brain of the database get harder and harder and harder, and the site gets slower and slower and slower. So when we have individual pictures, I will just put the order on hold and send an email to the customer asking them to clarify if they didn't put it in the notes. And then with razors like this, where it's not necessary to have individual pictures, thank the Lord above, we can have a drop-down menu that says factory edge or further honed. So I happen to think the factory edge of Thiers-Issard is spectacular, and I don't think that I'm making them any better. Maybe I'm making them a little smoother. I'm reasonably sure that they set their razors on a pair of spinning discs that are convex and made of slate, and then after they do that step, they go to a very big natural hone that is also slightly convex, and it is germane to France. And then after that, like most French producers historically, they prefer to finish on the stropping pastes for the decidedly lively edge, right? So I'm just going through the motions that I go through every day, and I'm waiting for my fingers to tell me that I can't really get anything more off of it, and they sound like they're pretty close. When that happens, I will strop the razor and take it toward hair on my shin or knee or my left forearm and try to observe it cutting that hair multiple millimeters above the skin plane. You will see people say tree topping 1/4 of an inch. I have been using straight razors and handling them for the majority of my adult life, and I have never ever seen a straight razor cut my particular hair on my arm 1/4 inch off the skin. I think you have to calibrate those expectations to the arm hairs, etc. in place. But for me, if I can get to like 4 millimeters above the skin, that is a crazy sharp edge. I'm not that exact about it, but if something got to 5 millimeters above my skin cutting hair, you probably couldn't hear that thing doing it. So this is my beloved Dan's Black Arkansas stone, 3 inches by 10 inches by 1 inch. It took me forever and a day to shape it to this ellipse that you're seeing me working on. And I want to keep that little bastard exactly that shape. So I will take my little aluminum concave lapping plate and put some fine sandpaper on it. And multiple times a week, I will wear out that fine sandpaper versus this plate, which probably doesn't do much that you could ever see, but you know, it's like looking at a glacier. You're not going to look at it every day and know that it's melting. But if you came back 20 years after you left to go make your life in New York City, I bet you might notice if it was melting. So you gotta keep on top of that shaping stuff. I don't want to put one extra lap to be sure of so-called shave ready. I want to put the least possible laps on there. And this razor has a typical meandering French edge, but it also looks incredibly thin, and that's what matters. Now I shall go strop this razor and do that little test we talked about. I'm coming over toward you. I got my microphone on. You know, I would love to take my little balsa and, you know, that black plastic concave lapping plate that's on the website now? That one is warped and has a smaller ellipse that it makes. You couldn't use it to make an ellipse off of an Arkansas stone because the warp of the plate would probably flex versus something as heavy as an Arkansas stone. However, with sandpaper in front of it versus cauticles, water stones, yeah, you put a little wet rag under there, I don't notice the difference, and your face damn sure notices the difference from that smaller wheel. So I would like to start shaping balsa to that smaller thing and putting a little paste on the balsa. And then the idea is that because the wheel, the imaginary wheel of the balsa hone is slightly smaller diameter than the wheel that was used to set up the edge, you are coming into the bevel plane between the rear and the tip. You're not meeting it exactly at the tip, you're meeting it somewhere spineward of the tip. And this will cause the bevel, where it is less than 1/10 of a millimeter thick, to flex toward the direction that the balsa strop is wanting to give. And of course balsa itself strop flexes. So I can imagine that the outcome in that case would be wonderful, and I am keen to explore it as my next thought process. But first, let's see if by any chance of luck we can get you guys something on camera here. Beebity. Oh, well, you know, I would say that is cutting some hairs. I don't know about you, but I'm going to go ahead and say that one's cutting some hairs. Pretty high up. So, they might not be the prettiest razors in the world, but geez Louise, buckets of cheese, they shave like crazy, don't they? And I am looking now for my my blower brush, and there it is. Beep-a-deep. And then I gotta go find my little bottle of alcohol and put it on there, and I'm spritzing it, and I'm gonna come up to that microphone so you can hear beep-a-dee. And what else am I gonna do? Now I'm gonna spray off the alcohol, doo-doo-doo. And then I go take a look with my little microscope. Well, I'm gonna run up against a memory issue, but suffice it to say, the triage is, after the little test, I blast it with the isopropyl alcohol. Use the blower brush to disperse the isopropyl alcohol, and then I apply the ballistol. And it's interesting to me, this most recent shipment of Thiers-Issard, they used Vaseline, or a Vaseline-like substance, on all the razors. I don't think I ever saw that before from a factory. Usually they use ballistol, but that's the German thing, of course. Well, there you go. I shall confirm there's no funny business going on there and send that to the man in, call him out, Jared, call him out for his place. He's from Renton. Where Renton at? Where's my peeps in the 98058 or whatever area code they have, because that's 3 numbers instead of 5. I like the zip code thing. Welcome to 32250, bitch. Okay, just doing some bits. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.